Okay, we
Everyone,
are we live? We're live.
we are
We're
live. We've
live.
got the Fantastic Four.
Hey
Ah,
guys, Eric Green here. Paul Turner and Paul Turner. I'm Paul Turner and that's Paul Turner. If you see my name there. No, hey, Eric Green. We've got Samantha and we got Sarah and we got the whole gang together, and we just want to do a really quick video. We've been masterminding. If you guys are marketers, mastermind with people. But we wanted to take just a couple of maybe 10 minutes. That's it. And we're not going to pitch or sell you anything today. We're not going to hyped up about anything today, right? We're marketers, that's what we do. But today we're going to talk really quickly, like 2 minutes each, on why we think people struggle and why they come online, they work from home, they see these opportunities, they see other people having success with these opportunities, but they just can't get over the hump. They just can't figure out why they are struggling. And so I think what we'll do is, Sarah, we'll start with you based on your experience working from home, having success in home business, the home-based mom, all that sort of stuff. Just give everyone a couple of minutes your perspective on why they may be struggling.
I think from a personal point of view, one of the things that gets in a lot of people's ways is the whole procrastination thing. You've got to do something. You know that it's important in your business. You know that it's an income-producing activity. Yet you think to yourself, "Oh, I'd much rather go and just mess about on Facebook for a little while, or I'd much rather go and put some funny pictures together than actually sit there and contact my follow-ups or set up my Aweber or any of these things that I do procrastinate over." And we need to get our minds straight as regards to prioritizing what we need to do to make sure that our business starts to move forward. If you don't move forward, you're just going to sit there and just wait for other people to, you're expecting everybody else to do it for you. And in your head that unless you do your to-do list and you do the things that are important and the things that are going to actually produce you income, you are not going to move forward in your business. You are not going to earn the money that you see other people earning. So that whole focusing on what's important and, pushing aside things that are not so important and just working on those income producing activities is the way that you need to sort of start looking at your business. Stop procrastinating. Think about what you need to do, write a list of what's important and carry that out every day. Otherwise, you are going to be stuck in the position that you are in now and you are not going to move forward. And there is incredible training that we've put together to help you move forward and to help you get over those barriers as well. So that's my take on, why some people are not moving forward in their business. So who would like to go next?
That is awesome. We will go to Sam. Sam, to you.
Hi. Very much like Sarah says, it's all about consistent daily action and actually doing the things you need to do to connect with people, following people up, building relationships, all of that great stuff. And as she says, doing the funny little videos and graphics, they're kind of the extras. It should be the core activities. The other thing I think as well is limiting beliefs. I think many people either don't believe they deserve it or they believe that earning money is bad somehow and selfish, especially if they're a really loving, giving person. They might feel uncomfortable about talking about earning lots of money. So they need to kind of work on the mindset for that as well, I think, because they're limiting themselves in many ways quite often. That's something that I had to get over. I'm not really a kind of money-orientated person naturally, but what I really love about this business is having the freedom from my day job. It isn't about becoming a rich person with a Lamborghini and a mansion. It's about having freedom to have the time and the money to live my life the way I want to and to help other people do that. So if you've got dollar signs in your eyes and that's all you can focus on, that also isn't going to stop you probably having the success that you could have. So it's finding that really good mindset where you haven't got a limiting belief about yourself and money, but also you're not just chasing the money and don't care about other people and helping other people. So yeah, there's a lot of complicated mindset stuff there. So, very briefly, that's just a couple of points from me. So I
Sam,
guess Paul would have more to say about mindset.
yeah, I certainly don't want to go after an NLP practitioner because he's probably going to drop some serious golden nuggets now. But Paul, over to you, buddy.
Okay, so the reason why a lot of people aren't successful is because basically you're screw-ups. You are a complete mess, and it's not your fault. It's how, until the age of 7, you believe in Father Christmas because you have no filters. You have no kind of conscious filter to go, hang on a minute, this guy travels all around the world dropping presents off. You believe it, okay? But if you believe in Father Christmas, what all the other bullshit that you get off your parents, your family, stuff you see on TV, stuff you see in the movies, how many times do your parents say no to you? Don't do that, don't climb up there, stop that, you'll hurt yourself, that will burn you, don't do that, that's too cold, you'll catch a cold, you know, all this good stuff that's meant to keep you safe actually doesn't do you any favours. But we all suffer from it, okay? It's very different today to how it used to be in caveman days. We also know from research and stuff that I do that a lot of people, they live in the past, and the reason why you live in the past is because your brain says, hang on a minute, if this happens, have we got any experience to know how to deal with it? So for everything that happens in your life, we tend to look back. And this is why people that have phobias or have bad times, and we all have bad stuff, yeah? We tend to keep holding it, and you hear people say things like, oh, put it behind you. That's because a lot of us carry our past in front of us and we keep bumping into it with negative stuff, okay? So you've got all this negative stuff going on around you, and it's like holding down a spring, okay? It takes energy to hold down the spring, and all this stuff is there. And when I did an NLP course, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is basically the study of success, rather than the study of, hey, why are these people screw up and what went wrong? It studied, hey, how come these people are successful? What are they doing, whether they know it or not? And I got rid of that shit. That's when things started to go absolutely swimmingly well for me. Thank you very much. So first thing I'd say is get yourself a vision. Get yourself a vision of what you want and be specific. It's no good saying I want to be rich, because what is that? You're already rich. Compare yourself to tribes that live in the rainforest that don't even have clean water to drink. You're probably watching this on the computer, you've got the internet, you've probably got a car, you have food, you've got a bed, you've got a roof over your head. You are rich. You're already rich, okay? So what do you mean by rich? Get really clear on what it is that you want, and then, and this is deep, but I need to say it, get consciously aware of how you stop yourself. What stops yourself having it? Because if you're not stopping yourself, you'd already have it, right? You've got the same resources Richard Branson has got at the end of the day. You've got the internet, you've got all this stuff around you. So I can't get into specifics in like 2 minutes, but get a clear vision of what you want and really dial into, have a bottle of wine one night and sit and be maudlin and think, how do I stop myself? What actually stops me doing it? And then do you know what? Reach out to somebody that can fix it. Go and research NLP. Over to you, Eric.
Oh, man. Like I said, tough to follow that. All right. So here's the truth. My timeline in home business, my timeline as an entrepreneur, whatever it is you want to call us, I would say 90% of my timeline is failure. Okay. That's the bottom line. Okay. If I look at all the years I spent trying to figure this game out and what worked and all that stuff, I'm a 90% failure. Now, people would say, well, you know, you're at home now, you work from home, you have your own schedule, you do your own thing, you're a success. But if you really look at me, if you look at my resume, I'm a 90% failure. Okay. But so for me, the advice that I have for people is you are taking a journey in a home-based business world. You're taking a journey. And the fact of the matter is I've been through so many different phases in this journey. You know, from the beginning when it was chasing money. I absolutely chased the money. It's all I knew. It's what I wanted out of where I wanted. I wasn't happy with being in corporate America, but I got sucked in with the idea of making all this money, right? And all these cool things people were doing. And then I realized, like, that doesn't really do anything for me. Then I tried all these different things. I actually worked with clients and did SEO work for clients. What the hell do I know about search engine optimization? I knew it. What I knew is enough to go get a client, and then I was like, I got to figure this out. They just paid me money. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's the reality. So marketing is this big treasure chest, and there's all these things in there. There's SEO. There's all these different paths to create success. But here's what I figured out for me, and I think people figure out if you stay in the game long enough. So my thing is to stay in the game long enough to figure this out. once you are in that marketing chest and you figure out what you really love and what really drives you, which for me, I'm a campaign guy. I love those, and I'm a connector. Those are the two things that I realized. These are my strengths. These are my strengths. And I'm not going to work on my weaknesses. Screw that. I'm going to outsource them because every time I try to focus on my weakness, it makes me feel like crap because I'm like, I suck at this. Why can't I do this? That person does it so effortlessly, and I think I'm a smart guy. I think I can do anything, but I really suck at it, and I tried it. So I don't like to focus on my weaknesses. Here are my strengths. Thank you for giving me these strengths. Thank you for giving me the whatever the mind to do this thing and this thing. And that's what I focus on. And the cool thing about home business is we're all a community. It doesn't matter what program you're in. It doesn't matter what opportunity you're in. We're all sort of in the same, fraternity, right? We're all here trying to do the same thing. So outsourcing and doing joint ventures and building partnerships and all that, that's what this game is all about. And the only way you're going to get to the next level is staying in long enough to figure out what those strengths are and then to meet people that you resonate with, that you really like working with, that you really like being around on a day-to-day basis, that you have fun with, and then working together and figuring out ways to become successful, just like any major company would do, a large AT&T or anywhere. They're sitting in a room with their sales staff and all their people, and they're sitting there trying to figure out how to make their company more successful. That's all we're doing. We're just doing it from the comfort of our homes, right? That's what you're signing into, right? You're getting out of the cubicle, and we're doing it from our chairs, our dining tables, our offices, our couches, wherever. That's what we're doing. So you have to be resilient enough to stay in the game long enough to figure out what your strengths are. And then you have to meet enough people, make enough connections, and have enough breakthroughs to finally have your breakthrough, to finally create the success and momentum you need. And then once you've done that and your belief system can start to get to another level, then you realize no matter where you're at in the game, there's always levels higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And you can either stay at the level you're at, and that's you're happy with level 2 in the game, or you can say, man, I really want to get up to level 3, 4, and 5. And that's the journey. That's the journey, because anyone that I've talked to that's had massive success in this industry, at the end of the day, 20 years later, 30 years later, 40 years later, when you ask them what was the most important part of that, and they all say that, and it can be in sports or anything that they do in life, they say it was about the journey. So that's it, guys. You're on a journey. You can't, if you keep quitting, it's going to be hard to keep starting, right? Don't quit. Just keep going. Get into the battlefield every day. Get into the marketplace. You're going to learn. Things are going to suck. Things are going to be good. You're going to be up. You're going to be down. The roller coaster is there. And that's why I think Paul and everybody hit it on the head, consistency, but mindset. You have to believe that whatever vision it is you have, whether it's going to come true a year from now or 10 years from now, that you believe that it's real. Because I can tell you, the vision I talked about 10 years ago or 15 years ago to people that loved me and cared about me, trust me, they never thought that I would ever be able to do what I'm doing. I mean, I'm telling you, I was the butt of jokes. And now I've got to go at 10:30 and meet with my brother-in-law, right? And he's great. He didn't give me too much crap, but he gave me crap 10, 15 years ago. Literally. Man, seriously, you know, all that. What am I meeting him today? To help him with Facebook advertising, help him with what his vision and what he's trying to do. And I wouldn't be in a position to do that for him if I let what he said or anybody else say that I wasn't going to be successful, that was a pipe dream, that the vision wasn't real. You know, so hold on to it. We appreciate you guys. We just wanted to do a training, and I appreciate all three of these guys. And we got a lot of exciting things coming, so keep an eye on the Shadow Commission project and what we got coming up. That's all I got, guys.
Cheers, guys. And Eric's the guy that keeps all the glue together. And Eric's the genius that keeps us going. So, Eric, if you do find those people that you like to work with, let us know, won't you? Because you'll be moving on.
That's far from the truth. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.